Namaste. Welcome to Mayaakatha Storytelling Hub, a place where stories dance. A very good evening. And they say, what is Maya? What is Mayakatha? We know Katha as story and we know Maya as illusion also. So many times, something which we are unable to do, we put it in the back burner. Or sometimes we keep procrastinating about it. And we again, don't take an action to do that task or to achieve that goal or to do that project, or even it could be to read that book for that matter. So bringing the illusion or illustrating the illusions to reality and creating an outcome for it, creating a shape for it is what stories does for that matter. So Mayakatha, it's all about stories, storytelling, and a hub where we connect, collaborate, learn, and grow. So this evening, starting this Thursday, every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. for next 10 weeks, we are going to be reading stories in collaboration with R.E.A.D Club, which is an initiative run by Sangeetha. So I'm going to be pulling her into the conversation. She is going to be reading stories, sharing her experiences of reading those stories. And we thought we'll pick it up from Story Weaver. We all know for reasons why we pick up stories from Story Weaver. So many collections of stories and something which we can share always. So here I'm just pulling her into the conversation. Hello, Sangeetha. I've just sent an invite to add you into the conversation. I hope you would have got the same.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
At
Successful.
last, you're
Yes.
alive.
Yes. I was
Yeah.
wondering if the request will go through. Okay. Hi. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, to those of you who are joining this live now, and also who will grab a read, listen to it when we upload it in our social media for you to watch at any time for that matter. So, Sangeetha, thank you for accepting this invite to do this wonderful initiative of reading stories, part of R.E.A.D Club activity. How lovely it is. Read from Read.
Oh, thank you, Meera. First of all, I want to say thank you to you for collaborating through the Mayakatha platform and bringing me live on the platform. So this is my very first experience of FB Live. So
Okay.
thanks to Meera for pushing me to do this. And here I am. So we, as
Thank
Meera
you.
already said, we are planning a session for the next 10 weeks is what we have thought of. Every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. and uh, plan to do it for a maximum of 20 to 25 minutes, where we are going to be sharing a story and also be discussing about the story. So that's about it. Meera, do we have to wait to continue or?
I was just saying if someone would be joining in. I'm just saying here in the parallel lines. So I thought let's start with the stories. As people join in, we can, have them in the conversation. So, so
Okay.
you want, yeah, okay.
So
So you
anyway,
want to give a brief about what story you're going to
yeah,
share, and
yeah.
by whom, who's the illustrator, and who's the publisher, so on and so forth, so that have some. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Sangeeta.
Sure. Yeah, sure. So before doing that, so this is going to be recorded, it's going to be available for people to see later. So just before I start the story, I just want to give in a nutshell why we are doing this. So that, before we start off. So the objective of this session or this set of sessions is to get children reading. Now, how are we going to do that in today's world? It's becoming more and more difficult to get a child to read, to enjoy reading. So, how do we make a child fall in love with books, with stories, with reading? How do we encourage a child to pick up a book and read? Now, the answer is very, very simple. we have to read with the child. Read to your child, read with your child. It is a simple activity, but given the busy schedule that we all follow, it makes it difficult for us to keep a time aside for reading on a consistent basis. But what matters is when you read to your child consistently on a daily basis for a few minutes, it brings about a tremendous amount of change in the way they look at stories, at books, and they actually start enjoying it. So, from my experience, I have seen this in my experience. Children love to read more when they are being read to. So please, this is my request to the parents who are going to be watching this video, to educators. It's very, very important that we read to children, and we can start reading when they're very, very young. Okay, so with that in mind, we've handpicked a few stories, a story that we can share with you every week, and we will be discussing around that story. What can you do more about the story? So that's in a nutshell why we are doing this, why Meera and I wanted to do this with you people. Okay. Meera, your face is not fully seen. Is that a camera angle issue, or is it because we are splitting the screen?
No, it's like I'm trying to occupy the entire screen.
Oh, no, no, it's okay.
So you want to start with the read. You want to share the details about the book.
Yes.
And yeah, so well.
Yes. So this is the book.
Reading to the child, absolutely. Reading to the child makes a huge difference. It's like almost you're holding a heaven in your hand. You're showing the heaven in front of the eyes. It takes a while. If a child sometimes they say, I don't want to read the story, I don't want to listen to. But every day, a little bit of an effort that we put in will create milestones of achievements. And I mean it's just like you throw the seeds and it develops into a plant or a tree. I mean it could be a tomato, it could be a shrub, or it could be a banyan, but end of the day the seed will definitely grow. It's important that we keep nourishing it, we keep giving those elements or the nutrients that is required, whether they listen to or they don't listen to, whether they bother about it, they don't bother about it, but the way we put it across makes a huge difference. So over to you, Sangeetha, you can give a brief about it, and I'll try to flip the camera on the phone so that we can, if we can see the story over here. I was just making that arrangement over here.
Yeah, no issue. So I basically took a printout of the story. I downloaded it and took a printout. I don't know how visible it is. It's a black and white printout. Okay. But I thought it's good. So that's something that you can do with your children. You can download stories from Storyweaver platform and take a copy and read to your child. That is possible. So this story, it's a story. It's a very cute story about a cloud. Okay, and story is written by Kuzhali Manickavel. Brilliantly written by Kuzhali Manickavel is what I would say, and beautifully illustrated by Aditi Damle. So this is one of my favorite stories that I love reading to children, because there's so much more to the story than just the story. So I will quickly read through the story and then we can have a talk around it.
And also published by
it's
Storyweaver.
Published on the Pratham Book Storyweaver platform. Yes, a million thanks to Pratham Book Storyweaver platform for bringing this to us. So yes, starting this, a little help for Cumulo. That's the name of the cloud. Can you see the little cloud peeking from behind the curtain? That's Cumulo. She is hiding. Cumulo's face is bright pink. She's sweaty. She wants to hide so no one can see her. Do you know why? So we'll know in some time why. When Cumulo goes to the cloud park, she tries to float. But no matter what she does, whoop, she turns upside down. Cumulo feels the other clouds are staring at her. Are they pointing? Are they laughing? Cumulo flies all the way home. She had really wanted to float in the park, but now she just feels like hiding. Cumulo, what are you doing inside? It's Cumulo's cousin, Buffalo. She doesn't want to tell him what happened. What if he starts laughing at her? Cumulo tells him anyway. Buffalo smiles. When I first went to the park, I couldn't float either. I would just hang there, he tells her. I thought everyone was laughing at me. I wanted to run away. Cumulo can't believe it. What did you do? She asks. I just thought how much I wanted to float. And you know what? Says Buffalo. Pretty soon, I forgot about everyone else. I was just floating and having fun. Come on, let's go to the park together. Cumulo isn't sure. What if all the clouds laugh at her? We will float together, said Buffalo. Just think about floating and having fun. There are many clouds in the park, but Cumulo feels better because Buffalo floats with her. He even floats upside down with her. Cumulo doesn't think about the clouds anymore. She just thinks about floating and having fun. And then something amazing happens. Some of the clouds join them and float upside down too. They all spend the afternoon together, floating upside down. Cumulo is so happy that she turns orange, then yellow, then purple. And that's the end of this very cute story about a cloud. So there is so much more to the story. Now, first of all, a cloud as a person and feelings, that's really cute about the story. And when we, this kind of story has more to explore after reading with a child. So one thing that, that comes to the top of my mind is, the very fact that Cumulo is afraid. She's scared. She feels that others are going to laugh at her if she's going to be there because she can't float right. Like, no, she tumbles upside down. So she feels others are going to laugh at her, so she doesn't want to try at all. Now, this is an interesting piece of conversation that we can have with our kids. When you read this story and you can talk to them, have there been moments when they have been scared to do something, to try something? So it is a conversation opener. This story, you can open a conversation about the little insecurities a child has, the fears the child has, and actually talk about it. And it is also possible that you can share your own insecurities with your child. See, even as an adult, we have our own fears and insecurities. And this would be a nice conversation that you can have with your child. Say, you know what happened to me? When I was this age, or even now, with yesterday, last week. And children love to hear those things. They feel, yes, they are not alone in it. So that's one major learning that you can take from this story. Now, apart,
Absolutely.
right? And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In fact, it actually
and
got me thinking about something, but I want you to complete it and then I will share my bit of an experience, just like what Cumulo went through.
okay, okay. And yeah, there's more to it. There's also the point that wherein you can talk about empathy to children, how Buffalo supported Cumulo. He didn't make fun of her. He said it's okay. It's okay for you to be like this. Let's just have fun. How many of you can be a friend like that to another person? Where you can say, pat on the back and say it's okay. It doesn't matter. So we're building that empathy in children, the child, to actually think like that, not to make fun. It's actually okay to be different, not to be able to do things that you want to do. It takes time. So those
Yeah.
are 2 points. There are more, Meera, but you can share your viewpoints.
No, I still remember, um, like, as a child, I think, I should definitely say, take this opportunity on the live. I flunked in my primary school. So I had an opportunity to do the same class again, study the same class again. So I didn't know that, I actually flunked. So I come with my, result card and I give it to my appa and I tell him, appa fail, pa. And he just looks at me. As a child, he saw that, oh my God, you didn't understand. Fine, it's okay. Then the very next day we went to the school. I thought, okay, I'm going to the next class. I thought flunked, I failed. The meaning of that is that I have gone to the next class, promoted. My father also came along with me and, that they were talking. I don't still remember, but one thing what my appa said, like, it's okay. If she's going to study this class again, let her study. She still doesn't understand whether it's a fail or a pass. She doesn't understand. So let her experience. Might be she has to study that again. But I remember these words to date, But similarly, each of us have that, buffalo in the form of a father or in the form of a friend or a spouse or a colleague or, you may not even have expected, but some stranger also might have become a buffalo in our life. I mean, we also become a buffalo to Cumulos for that matter. Yet another thing is, when my little one was cycling, she had those cute little support wheels. So, sometimes this like, how long you going to be riding like this? Unconsciously it just came out. And she said, until I get the balance. It was spontaneous. It was just spontaneous. And I stopped thinking about those support wheels. All of a sudden, she comes and she said, I rode my friend's cycle, which is, it's really high, and I was able to. So I really understood, when you get it, you get it.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
definitely like a transformation, the cycle, the life cycle of butterfly or a caterpillar which goes to the butterfly stage. Similarly, like Cumulo also, like the Cumulo was observing so many clouds around, they were able to float, but Cumulo was always getting scared, if I can, will I, if I can. So that will be always there, but we got to be a listener before nudging somebody and saying, hey, go and do it. It takes a lot to give that push, but I think we need to really understand when to do, how to do it. So, yeah, that's something I wanted to share. And yeah,
Superb.
over to you, Sangeetha.
Superb.
Before that, I want to say thank you. I'm not able to see a couple of people over here, but yeah, a few names I'm able to see. Thank you, Sarita ma'am, Archana, Lavanya, thanks for joining, Aarti. Couple of them have joined online. I don't know if there's some comments. I'm unable to see here though, but yeah, after the session is over, we will be in a position to respond to each of you. So there's someone, Swati also. Yeah, Swati Goel has joined. So thanks to the listeners, audience who have hopped in over here to listen to us. Yes, Sangeetha.
Right. Right. So if anyone has anything to say, they're free to share in the comments any viewpoints that you have about the story. You can definitely do. So what we can learn, like there are many perspectives to a story, and it just expands our thinking. That is the beauty of a story. You can have so many perspectives to it depending upon the person listening to the story, the person telling the story, reading, whatever. It is just it's large. So even in this story, you could even take it in a simple activity with children where you can just observe the shape of the clouds, and you can ask them to say, today did it look like a crocodile, or did it look like an ice cream cone, or
Yeah.
did it look like a tortoise, a dragon in the sky. So many things you can come up with an activity for children to just watch the clouds, so they'll start
Yeah.
watching. And then if you look at science, you can look at how clouds make rain, what color clouds have, what colors do they change to. You can explore more on the science aspect of it. So there's so much more to a story than just a story. You just have to pick the pieces here and there and just try to relate and talk about it. I believe it is not about the number of stories you read, but basically we'll have to take every story, take your time, and it's not like you do it all at once,
Yeah.
but these becomes thoughts for conversations for a future. You know what happened that day? Remember that story that we read that day? There were clouds in that story. Can you see the shapes of the clouds today and tell me? So that is how. It need not be like you do it as an activity the next day. It's not homework. It's not an assignment. It's just for the fun part of it, how you deal, I mean, how you relate to the story.
Perspective, right, Sangeeta? It's a perspective, right, Sangeeta? Like for some, it is 6, 20% is 9, but 6 is also real, 9 is also real. Where you're standing
Right.
and what you're saying It's a huge difference. So cloud, I mean, as you mentioned, I still remember as a child, just looking at, looking up into the sky, and you see them moving all of a sudden very fast. And when we used to travel in the train, I mean, I'm sure we as adults, we had that beautiful childhood of the train journey where we used to feel, the mountain is walking with us, the trees are running with us, and we have the
Yeah,
clouds flying along with us. And
right.
we really
The
were
mood.
looking into it, and we just looked into it.
Right. Right. Very true. Very true. So,
But even now
yeah,
we want the clouds to go in the real speed, like 5 seconds. What shape are you going to come into? Next
right.
swipe, okay, this shape, then I'm going to take it into.
Right, right, very true. So yeah, so it is something that we through these sessions we want to bring stories like this to you, and kind of come up with discussion points that you can share with your child as well. So these stories are starters for parents who want to read to their child, and no, so it's going to help you. So there are lots of stories available. You can just go into the Story Weaver platform, and there are many stories available, and you can read through it. So that's what
We
I have to
also
say.
very
And
happy
just
we
see if
picked it
there's
up
anything
from
that
Story Weaver.
sorry, Meera, I didn't.
Also
Sorry.
very happy we just picked it up from Story Weaver because, we just wanted to pick up stories and we want to give it, might be these are the stories which you have already read. Like I said,
Right.
6 and the 9 perspective. So might be
Right.
here we are, Sangeetha and I, we are just sharing our bit of an experience, how we got storyfied with this story that we shared and read. There are lots more stories, and for the next week again, we'll be coming at the same time as on Thursday, 5:30 p.m. So we plan to have this for the next 10 weeks, and we have another set of things also coming in. So as of now, this we are spilling the beans with this, or rather, we are just letting us away here with this information.
True. True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You wish to add
Great.
something, Sangeeta? You probably we
No,
can just say
I
thanks to all the people who joined in.
right.
Jaya ma'am,
Right.
hi.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bhavna, thank you. I
Thanks
could see a few
for
names over
joining
here.
in. You can. Okay, I'm unable to see anybody's name, so I'm sorry. So as I said, I'm new to Facebook Live, so
Okay.
but thanks for people who have joined in. And yes, this is available for future reference. You can always go and watch the video when you can, so it's possible. So
So,
great. Thanks
those of
for.
you who
I mean, I'm
joined in,
really glad that we started this. Just like the Cumulo Cloud, who was scared to try. For me, Facebook Live was like that. So I was telling Meera, I've never done live, Facebook Live. So I'm the Cumulo Cloud today, and Meera is my buffalo. So
come let's go together. Thank you so very much. That's
okay,
really kind of you to share. So, audience who joined in, we read the story of A Little Help for Cumulo, published by Pratham on Storyweaver, and written by Kuzhali Manickavel and illustrated by Aditi Damle. So, we'll be back with yet another story, a read, a share, and our bit of an experiences. And we would love to hear from you. Hi, Kasturi. Thanks for hopping in. We would love to hear from you. You have any suggestions? And we would love to. Yeah, provided we have the author's approval, but we have the publishers. Go ahead and share. So, and you have a story that you have written, you can write to us. You can DM me, and I'll get in touch with you. Up until then, this is Namaste. Thank you. Meera from Mayaakatha,
and
storytelling hub.
thank
Yeah, so storytelling hub to connect, collaborate, learn, and grow. Stories are everywhere. It's about, sharing the story, living the story, and creating an outcome also through stories. Namaste. Thank you.
thank you,
Thank,
Meera. Thank you, everyone.
thank you.